Dele Momodu have come out to talk on this Nnamdi Kanu's case. He said that the marginalization of the Igbos spiked up his coming out to speak. Without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Don't forget to subscribe and drop your comments. It helps others to see this news.
So my people, this one way Dele Momodu talk don't really start conversation across Nigeria. He came out to say that the marginalization of the Igbo people is what rekindled the whole Biafra sentiment. And that statement alone has opened another chapter in Nigeria's political talk. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe right now, because we are breaking down everything that's happening and why this talk is shaking tables across the country. Now, let's reason it together. Dele Momodu is not just anybody. He's a respected journalist, a publisher, a politician, and someone who has watched Nigeria evolve for decades. So when a man like that says the marginalization of the Igbo brought back the Biafra movement, you know it's not just a random talk. He said he took time to listen to people before making that conclusion. That the reason the Biafra agitation came back strong is because many Igbo people feel excluded, ignored, and not given equal chance in this system. Like this video if you're still with me, and let's go deeper. Think about it. After the civil war in the late 60s, Nigeria said, no victor, no vanquished. But many people from the southeast still feel that promise was never truly fulfilled. They look around and say, where are our people in top positions? Where is our fair share of federal projects? Where is our voice in leadership? Over the years, the feeling of being left behind has grown stronger. So when Nnamdi Kanu started talking about Biafra again, a lot of people didn't just see him as one man shouting. They saw him as someone voicing what many have been feeling quietly. Please don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button if you agree that every region deserves fairness. Now, Dele Momodu's point is simple but powerful. When people are constantly ignored, they start looking for new ways to be heard. He said marginalization rekindled the movement, meaning the Biafra idea didn't come from nowhere, it came from years of frustration. And that's the truth many people are not ready to admit. If we don't fix the foundation, the noise will continue. Look at the situation now. Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention for a long time, and his supporters keep protesting, asking for his release. Some people think the protests are unnecessary, while others see them as a cry for justice. The real question is, will holding Kanu stop the feeling of marginalization? Dele Momodu believes it won't. He's saying, even if you keep him locked up, the issues will remain unless the government addresses why the agitation started in the first place. If you understand where this conversation is going, tap that like button now and share this video so more people can join in. In many of his past interviews, Dele Momodu always talks about unity. He believes Nigeria can still work, but only when fairness becomes real. He doesn't support violence or division. He's simply saying you can't silence a people without listening to them. That's the same message many leaders from the southeast have been trying to pass across. We want inclusion, not isolation. Let's not pretend we don't see what's happening. In the last few weeks, there have been protests in different parts of the country, especially in the southeast, calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Police have been deployed, roads have been blocked, and sometimes clashes happen. But behind those protests, there's pain. And behind that pain, there's a story of people who feel they've been treated unfairly. That's the point Momodu is trying to make. That if we continue to ignore the roots of the problem, it will keep growing. Please like this video and subscribe if you're following the gist, because this is deep. You know, sometimes when issues like this come up, people try to reduce it to politics, but it's more than that. It's about identity. It's about belonging. It's about fairness. Momodu called the Igbo some of the most energetic and vibrant brains in Africa. That's a big compliment. But he also said those same brains are being deprived. Imagine having the talent, the drive, the creativity, but not the same access as others. That frustration can easily turn into agitation. And the funny thing is, a lot of young people in the southeast today were not even alive during the first Biafra war, but they still feel connected to it emotionally. Why? because the feeling of exclusion hasn't gone away. When they see how development flows more to some regions than others, when they see how top political positions rotate without truly touching their zone, they begin to feel maybe Biafra is the only way they'll be respected. That's the fire Dele Momodu is talking about. A fire lit by unfairness, not by hatred. Now, let's be real. Every country has disagreements. But what separates strong nations from weak ones is how they handle those differences. Nigeria can still get it right if our leaders choose inclusion over division. And that's where this message becomes very important, because Momodu is calling for dialogue, not silence. He's saying instead of throwing stones or using force, why not sit down and discuss what's really wrong? If we address those root causes, the agitation will die naturally. Please like this video and subscribe if you believe that talking and understanding each other is better than fighting. At the same time, we also have to talk about responsibility. Every movement needs leadership that understands peace. Nnamdi Kanu may be in detention, but his followers still need to be wise. If you're protesting, do it peacefully. If you're speaking out, use your voice for unity, not hate. The goal is to fix Nigeria, not break it further. That's the mature way forward. Right now, people are watching what will happen next. Will the government listen? Will there be reforms? Or will it be business as usual? Many Nigerians are tired of seeing one region against another. People want peace, but peace comes with justice. As long as one side feels cheated, true peace will be hard to find. Dele Momodu's words are like a reminder. You can't sweep problems under the carpet forever. Nigeria has too many bright minds to still be arguing about fairness in 2025. We need leadership that heals, not leadership that divides. The Igbo deserve equal opportunity in business, in politics, in representation, in everything. That's how you build a strong nation. So, my people, the message today is not about taking sides. It's about understanding. If you silence one voice, another will rise. The Biafra talk didn't just appear, it came from a place of deep pain. And when people like Dele Momodu say this truth out loud, it's not to cause trouble, it's to push the conversation forward. If you've watched this far, thank you. You're one of the real ones. Please like this video, drop a comment with your opinion, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Do you agree that marginalization is the reason the Biafra struggle is still alive? Or do you think there's more to it? Let's hear from you in the comments section. Because the truth is, we can't move forward as a nation if we keep pretending that everyone is fine. Every group deserves to feel seen and valued. That's the Nigeria people like Momodu are dreaming of. A Nigeria where no one feels left out. So, as we round up this gist, let's remember, unity doesn't mean silence and peace doesn't mean pretending. It means fairness. It means dialogue. It means giving every citizen a reason to believe they belong. Thanks for staying with me through this talk. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because we'll keep bringing you more stories that matter. And if you want me to continue the gist, maybe go deeper into Nnamdi Kanu's current case or how the government is reacting to Momodu's statement, just tell me. Continue the gist in the comments. Now, the next big question many Nigerians are asking is, what's next for Nnamdi Kanu? Because this whole statement by Dele Momodu didn't just spark social media debate, it also brought fresh attention to Kanu's ongoing detention and the tension it has created. People are asking, will the federal government finally release him, or will the case continue to drag with no end in sight? Let's be honest, Nnamdi Kanu's arrest and the way his case has been handled have been one of the most controversial issues in recent years. Each time the court sits, expectations rise. His lawyers argue that he deserves freedom based on the earlier court rulings, while the government insists on due process. The real issue here is not only about one man, it's about how Nigeria handles justice and equality. If people see that fairness doesn't apply equally, trust in the system fades. That's why voices like Dele Momodu are saying, look, let's handle this matter with wisdom, not ego. Please like this video if you believe justice should be fair to everyone. Another thing we need to talk about is how divided public opinion has become. Some Nigerians believe that the Biafra agitation is simply an emotional response to political exclusion, that if the government truly included the Southeast, all these talks would calm down. Others, however, feel that the agitation has gone too far and needs to be managed carefully so it doesn't cause instability. But again, both sides seem to agree on one thing. The feeling of marginalization is real, and it can't just be dismissed like it doesn't exist. Let's take this moment to talk about what marginalization really means in simple terms. It's when a group of people feel pushed aside, when they see others getting more opportunities, more appointments, more support, while they get less. That's not just about politics, it's also about development, jobs, and representation. If you travel across parts of the Southeast, you'll see people still crying for better roads, more industries, and federal presence. And when these things don't come, resentment grows. That's why Dele Momodu's words hit home for so many people. He's saying what a lot of Nigerians already know but don't say out loud. Please, if you're following this talk, take a second to like this video and subscribe. It really helps us keep this kind of content going for you. Now, what makes this even more emotional is the generational side of it. Young people today, those in their 20s and 30s, didn't experience the Civil War, but they grew up hearing about it from their parents and grandparents. They've seen the documentaries, they've read the stories, and they've listened to how life was hard for the Igbo after the war. So when they see leaders today still ignoring the same issues that caused the first conflict, it hits a nerve. The younger generation is asking questions. Why are we still facing the same problems our fathers faced? And then they look around and see other regions developing faster, having more representation in top government offices, and that adds to the feeling of unfairness. That's why the agitation keeps finding new life. Not because people want to cause trouble, but because they feel there's no other way to be heard. Now, let's talk about how this message from Dele Momodu can actually become a turning point if Nigeria listens. The truth is, he's not calling for separation. He's calling for reflection, for everyone to pause and ask, why are some Nigerians still feeling left behind? If we can answer that question honestly and take real steps, maybe we can reduce this anger once and for all. But if we keep pretending that everything is fine, we'll keep having protests, anger, and tension. Recently, there have been several protests demanding Kanu's release, especially in major cities. Some were peaceful, but others turned tense when the police stepped in. Each time that happens, it widens the gap between the government and the people. Imagine how different it would be if instead of using force, dialogue was the main approach. That's what Dele Momodu means by saying the Biafra sentiment was rekindled. He's saying it didn't come from violence, it came from silence, from neglect. Let's not also forget the economic side of this matter. The Southeast has some of the most hardworking business people in Africa. They build, they trade, they innovate. But despite that, they still face serious infrastructure problems. Many people believe that if the region had better support from the center, things would look very different today. Dele Momodu's statement can be seen as a call to fix that imbalance, to finally give the Igbo their deserved place in Nigeria's development story. If you agree with that, please tap that like button now and subscribe so we can keep these important conversations alive. Now, something interesting. Some political observers believe Dele Momodu's comment might push other influential voices to speak up too. You know how Nigeria is. Once one person breaks the silence, others begin to talk. We might start seeing more leaders, both from the Southeast and other regions, openly addressing the issue of inclusion. And that's a good thing because silence never solves anything. Talking, listening, and acting do. Let's look at the bigger picture for a second. Nigeria is blessed with diversity. Over 250 ethnic groups, rich culture, and brilliant people everywhere. But what makes diversity work is fairness. Once one group feels less valued, the balance breaks. That's why when people say one Nigeria, it has to mean equality for everyone, not just words. If one region is always at the bottom, unity becomes hard to maintain. Now, people are watching the government closely, especially with all the ongoing security challenges, economic struggles, and political reshuffling. Many believe that fixing the Southeast question is not just about the Igbo. It's about showing that Nigeria can treat all its citizens fairly. If this government wants to leave a lasting legacy, this is the time to prove it. We also have to talk about the emotional weight on families who are affected. There are mothers waiting for their sons to come back home, families divided by these tensions, and communities that just want peace but don't know when it will come. These are real people, not just headlines. And Dele Momodu's words are shining a light on their pain.